Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about profession who are behind the making of beautiful homes and buildings. Yes, you're correct, we are going to talk about architect as a career. Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar or Eiffel Tower, what do these things have in common? Magnificence. There are so many beautiful structures around the world, and it is all thanks to architects. An architect designs and oversees the construction of different structures. If you would someday like to design a structure of your own, consider architecture as a career. You could build places like schools and office buildings, hospitals and residential spaces like apartments, towers or bungalows, or you could even build cityscapes like bridges. Thus in this video we are going to answer all the questions related to architect, like what is architecture, who is an architect, and why they are required, how to become an architect, skills required and work description, top recruiters and job profiles, salary and growth. So now let us see what architecture means. Architecture is defined as art and science of planning, designing, and constructing buildings or any other structures. It requires knowledge of art, science, technology, and humanity altogether. Now let us see who is an architect. An architect is an individual who designs new buildings and also make changes to existing buildings. An architect also has to give their advice on conservation and restoration of old buildings, if required. Now the buildings designed by architect can be commercial such as office buildings, factories, and restaurants, as well as residential buildings such as apartment and even complexes. An architect works very closely with high-end users and clients to customize the designs of workplaces according to their needs and specifications. An architect makes sure that the potential designs are safe, economical, functional and aesthetically pleasing, because nowadays aesthetic work are being appreciated. The work of an architect is often performed by the use of computer-aided design, CAD, software, because they need to diagram the designs to ensure the feasibility. An architect usually work on a project from start to end as they have to meet a lot of engineers and designers to ensure maximum customer satisfaction from the side. Why architects are required? As mentioned previously in the video, an architect plays a very important role in the society. A good architecture is never overlooked by the public and remain in the memory for a longer duration. To some people it may be just another building, but to make a unique building a good architect is required. A good architecture enhances our daily lives in ways that we wouldn't necessarily predict or expect. How to become an architect? Apart from studies, one should have an innate creativity to get into this profession. An individual has to keep themselves updated so they can excel in this profession, as designs are not always the same throughout, it keep on changing. In most of the colleges the eligibility criterion is of minimum 50% aggregate marks in class 12. For admissions into IITs, NIT, the candidate is required to clear 10+2 with physics, chemistry, mathematics as subjects. Following undergraduate entrance test, one should pass out to get into architecture. 1. National Aptitude Test for Architecture, NATA. 2. GMAIN. Once you have successfully completed your entrance exams, you can pursue a Bachelor of Architecture course for 5-year. Colleges and institutions for architecture course. Department of Architecture, IIT Kharagpur. Department of Architecture, IIT Roorkee. Sir J.J. College of Architecture, Mumbai. Jawaharlal Nehru Architecture and Fine Arts University, Hyderabad. Skills required: basic and intricate design skills and knowledge. A sharp knowledge of building and construction work. Should pay attention and thoroughly watch out details. proper thinking and reasoning skills, excellent verbal communication skills with knowledge of multiple languages, analytical thinking skills and critical thinking skills. An architect should be able to use the computer and the main software packages competently. Work description. An architect has to perform various work in the career field. Some of them are discussing various aims, requirements and financial budget of any project, calculating, designing and presenting all possible plans and drawings to the client, performing all the work in budget provided and time limit allocated, managing all the project and ensuring timely and proper functioning of the service providers, supervising projects from its initial stage to its end stage, frequent site visits to get detailed information about the development of the projects, solving complicated matters that comes up during construction stage, ensuring the achievement of ecological balance. Top recruiters: L&T, DLF, Jindals, Manchanda Associates. Job profiles: architect. After completing masters, one can move ahead to be an architecture. Firstly, the post will be of a junior architect, but later on it can be of a senior architect. Architectural engineer. An architectural engineer has a degree of both civil engineer and architect. Hence, to get into this vast knowledge is required. Interior designer. To get into interior designing, one should have an appropriate knowledge of interior designer, but even an architect can go for it as well. Landscape architect. Landscape architects are concerned with the careful planning and designing of public outdoor spaces such as parks and gardens to ensure the beauty and practicality. Naval architect. Naval architects engage themselves in design and construction of naval or water vessels for the government as well as private companies. Salary and growth. As a junior architect or junior interior designer, one can expect pay between 5 to 6 lakh per annum in a reputed firm. As far as the senior post is concerned, one can expect a good pay of rupees 12 to 15 lakh per annum depending upon the work experience, location, job profile and skills. Pursuing architecture in India would give you a good opportunity to build a network here, and you can set up your own firm. In abroad, the demand of an architect is very high, so if you are capable enough to get into any good country, then you can expect a very good pay. Nowadays, people are more spending on the design and architecture for their houses to look unique, and companies designing their office grand and artistic to match the brand value. So a lot of scope is there for people pursuing architecture. So, that was all about architect. We hope that now it will be easy for you to decide whether architect is a right career for you or not. Thank you.